Bruce Lee were alive today, standing in front of a dojo, gym, or training center, and deciding where to dedicate his time. Would he walk into a Muay Thai camp in Thailand? Would he step onto the mats of a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu academy? Would he sharpen his striking in a modern MMA gym, or return to the roots of traditional Kung Fu? This is not just a fun fantasy question, it's actually one of the most fascinating ways to understand both Bruce Lee's philosophy and the evolution of martial arts in the modern world. Because if we truly want to know which martial art Bruce Lee would pick today, we must dive into his mindset, his principles, and his vision of what martial arts were meant to become. Bruce Lee was never just a fighter. He was a revolutionary, a thinker, and an innovator who challenged the very idea of what martial arts should be. He looked at outdated traditions and said, "Why be bound by styles?" He searched for freedom of movement, freedom of thought, and freedom of expression through combat. So when we ask this question, we are really asking, what would Bruce Lee's spirit of innovation choose in a world where martial arts have transformed into a global industry? Let's dive deep, step by step, into what Bruce Lee valued most, what martial arts have evolved into, and ultimately, which path he might walk if he lived in our time. Bruce Lee's philosophy of martial arts. To understand what Bruce Lee would pick, we must start with what he rejected. He despised rigidity. He hated being locked into traditions for the sake of tradition. He once compared martial artists who stuck blindly to styles to a man who worships the finger pointing to the moon but never sees the moon itself. For Bruce Lee, martial arts were never about the style itself, they were about effectiveness, adaptability, and expression of the self. His famous creation, Jeet Kune Do, was not meant to be a style but rather an anti-style. It was his way of saying, absorb what is useful, discard what is useless, and add what is uniquely your own. This single sentence tells us everything we need to know about what he would do today. He would not be trapped by labels. He would not say, I am a karateka, or I am a boxer, or I am a jiu-jitsu practitioner. He would study everything, extract what worked, and create something uniquely his own. This philosophy is the foundation of our answer. And it already tells us that Bruce Lee, in today's world, would not simply choose one martial art. Instead, he would look at the vast landscape available today and craft a blend that gave him freedom, efficiency, and truth in combat. The evolution of martial arts since Bruce Lee's time. When Bruce Lee was alive in the 1960s and early 1970s, the martial arts world was divided. Karate was booming in America. Kung Fu had mystery and respect, but many schools focused more on forms than on fighting. Boxing was respected but seen as a sport, not a self-defense system. Wrestling was in schools but not